In this video, I would like to show you the first steps in the program ArCADia. First, I'm turning on 3D view under System, and under the tab Architecture, I'm going to now select Wall, and now I'm going to draw a room. You can place a wall with a left click, and as you now see, it gets captured with a supporting line and I can finish the room. With a right click, I can exit the wall drawing function. In Project Manager, I'm now turning on the 3D view, and I can zoom in with my mouse wheel. I can hold my right mouse button and rotate the camera, or I can press the mouse wheel button, and change the camera. In order to draw, I have to change to view 1, and I can now click room and change its settings. For example, I can change the name or the descriptions that appear in the little box under appearance of room description. And I can tick several little boxes with room number, for example, room name, usable area. I'm just choosing a few at random. And as you can see, the description of the room has changed. As you can see, when I draw new rooms, the new rooms also have the description of the original settings of the room I created. I'm drawing a few more walls at random to show you several rooms with the same settings in different room area, and I can also change them again. Or I can change individual rooms again if I want to. I can now also change the room name, for example. Under Project Manager, under the tabs Building and Level, I can now add subgroups to the walls. I can create different groups for walls, for example. With a right click, I can choose any name, for example, outdoor, supporting, or inner. And I can then add rooms to these subgroups. Now I'm choosing a subgroup, supporting, outer, for example, and I can add with a left click these different walls to my selection of walls. And now I'm going back to outer with a right click and adding these to the subgroup. As you now can see, with select objects, they are selected again. I can do the same for the two different subgroups, of course. Now I'm adding the supporting objects. And again, you can see they are selected again. And now I'm adding the final wall. And by selecting via the subgroup, I can also select all the walls at once and change the settings for all walls at once. And now I'm adding an element to the wall, for example, and it gets added to every single wall at the same time. That's the advantage of using subgroups, for example. When I change the thickness, for example, I can make them supporting walls thicker, and it changes it for both walls. Now I'm changing the last wall and making it a little bit thinner. I can now, if I want to draw a wall again, I can now select the wall, the outer wall, for example, and by clicking on wall, it retains all the original properties. I can simply draw it with the element I added. As you can see, I draw it in the wrong direction, but it gets the point across. You can see the installation. The same can happen to every wall, or I can do the same with every wall, sorry. I can choose the inner wall, and you can see I draw the inner wall again by clicking on wall. You can also add your own types to the library, or create your own wall types, for example. By clicking on the little plus symbol, you can add your name to the wall with the settings you just created. For example, thin wall, 15 centimeter inner wall, and it loads now a few seconds and it gets added to the catalog or the user library. And I now choose to select a wall. I can click right there, and under user library, or you have the standard library and the user library, where you can choose your wall again. Yeah. I'm now going into the 3D view, and you can add a ground floor. For example, as you can see, there's no ground floor right now, and you can simply add one by going to the tab Ceiling and choosing ground floor. And just by simply pressing it once, it generates a ground floor for the entire level. Since it's a 3D, you can only see it from above.